Hey house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother Canada updates and spoilers. Our house guest of the day is Brandon Ditmar. Brandon, thank you so much for your support. I hope you're having a great Easter, and I hope everybody is having a very, very happy Easter and enjoying this beautiful day. Alright, and if you guys want to be house guests of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. So, yesterday they had the Power Veto competition. Dylan, Demetres, Jackie were all competing, and 3 extra players, Ika, Cindy, and William. So, I'm not really sure what the competition was yet, but I know that there were balls involved. Take what you will from that. Also, Cindy got hurt. She, like, rolled over her ankle. Ow! And we also know that Demetres won the Power of Veto, so he's a real freaking comp beast. So, the house guests go back into the house after the competition to find that Big Brother gave them pizza, wings, and beer. I think it might have been that non-alcoholic one again. I'm not sure. Like, what's the deal with that? Is that a sponsor or what? It must be a sponsor. So, there was also a note from Big Brother, and it said, "Have-nots. This week, you started your punishment a day earlier than usual, so enjoy yourselves for 24 hours. Eat what you want, and rest your heads wherever your heart desires until tomorrow at midnight." Woo, it's a real Cinderella situation. I think this was probably also so that they could enjoy Easter. I don't think they realize that it's Easter, but maybe they'll figure it out at some point. So that's nice for Kevin, Bruno, and Jackie, who are all have-nots this week. Alright, so then Kevin goes up to the HOH room to talk to Dylan, and he's just like, "So, what are you thinking?" And Dylan says, "I'm thinking I'm going to put up Cindy." And he explains he has a reason to do it, because she put him up during the double eviction, so he can get away with it without it being, like, shady or whatever. So he also said, if he's putting up Cindy, he wants her to go. So he asks if Kevin's on board to follow through with that. Kevin's like, "Well, she's my friend, but yes." So he agrees that he will vote Cindy out. It's not him. And if he wins HOH next week, he says he won't go after Dylan or Karen. I think it's funny that he's throwing Karen in there now. Because Karen is all about Kevin Martin. But anyway, I guess he's realizing that Dylan and Karen are getting a lot closer, so he wants to make sure he throws that in there. So then Dylan brings up, like, I do have another possible option. I could put Ika up, but he doesn't really want to do that because Demetres and Ika have both told him that they're going after Jackie if they win HOH, not him. And he also doesn't want Demetres to be left in this house feeling all, like, revengeful. Like, he doesn't want Demetres to come after him, especially since he's so freaking good at competitions. So if he can avoid that, he will. So Kevin's just like, yeah, do whatever's best for your game. And mine. So then Dre, Ika, and Demetres are having a chat. And Dre is feeling more and more like they're losing William to Kevin. Again, I don't know if she's, like, totally for real when she's saying this, because I think she does want to show that there's some distance between herself and William, but I think she does feel to a certain degree that William is not with their group as much as he used to be. He's got, like, this really strong emotional connection with Kevin more than anything, and he's just, like, drawn to him, and he's gonna do what Kevin wants. So Dre doesn't think that William would actively play against them, but she's like, he's not gonna fight for us either, so he's really only a number for them at this point. And Ika's like, yeah, I don't trust him. We can't be giving him important information. Oh! So Ika also says that she's nervous that Bruno is going to convince Dylan to put her up as the replacement nominee. So she asks Dre to talk block for her. Dre and Dylan are, like, really getting along this week. Like I said yesterday, they're freaking, like, attached at the hip now. So Dre is the perfect person to stick around Dylan and make sure that he's not talking to Bruno. Alright. So then Dylan was talking to Jackie, and he lets her know that he's planning on putting up Cindy in Demetres' place. And Jackie's like, really though? Like, she's not really sure that she's going to be safe against Cindy, because Cindy is really close with Kevin and Bruno. So she's kind of nervous that if Cindy does go up, she's going to go home. So Dylan's like, I already talked to Kevin and Bruno, and they both promised me that they will vote Cindy out. Number one, Dylan is so freaking gullible. He would believe any, like, come on. But also, like, I do think that they would vote Cindy out if they felt that they didn't have the votes. But anyway, Dylan is very quick to believe these people. Remember when he believed that William was going to put Jackie up on the block instead of Bruno? Okay, so then Jackie suggests, like, why don't you put up Ika? You could still keep your deal with everybody from the HOH competition, and I would have a better chance of staying. I'd feel more comfortable. And Dylan's like, I have no reason to do that. Like, I can't just put Ika up there. That would be really bad for my game. So she's like, well, I'll talk to Kevin and Bruno and see where they're at and if we can trust them to vote out Cindy, and then we'll talk again. All right. Bless you. So then it's Bruno's turn to pitch to Dylan, and Bruno is going in hard here. He's kind of been laying back a lot lately and just like letting people pull off these game moves that are really bad for him without much argument from him. But he's realizing, like, shit, if I don't make something happen this week, I'm going to be in a lot of trouble number-wise. So he's really pushing hard with Dylan here. He's saying if either Demetres or Ika win HOH next week, they're going to put your ass up on that block. Don't let them tell you otherwise because you can't trust them. And he says, like, those two are a strong duo. They're always going to put each other ahead of everybody else. They're an unbreakable bond. Remember how they used to say unbreakable bond like every 5 minutes last season? That was crazy. So then Bruno is like, if you're worried about retaliation, I will win the next HOH and take out whichever one stays, and you won't have to worry at all. Yeah, because you've won so many HOHs so far, Bruno. So anyway, Dylan says, well, I told Kevin about getting rid of Cindy, and he told me that it seemed like a good idea. And Bruno's just like, Kevin said that? Really? But he's saying, no, like, that would be a really bad move for you. It's not good. They're too strong on the other side. They got two strong duos working together, William and Dre, and then Ika and Demetres. So Bruno is not about that life. And he goes as far as bringing in some boxing analogies. He's like, you got them up against the ropes right now, and like, this is their Hail Mary play, and blah, blah, blah. All these other boxing things, I don't really care. But Dylan's like, oh, yeah, good point, good point. So Bruno comes up with this plan. He's like, what if we can get Demetres to not even use the POV? Let's tell him that if he does, that Ika will go up in his place, and she'll go. But if he doesn't use the power veto, we'll just vote out Jackie. But then, like, they would actually vote out Demetres. I don't see that working. But Dylan's like, yeah, I'll have to think about it. AKA, no. Alright. So then Dylan and Demetres were playing pool after that. And Dylan reveals, basically, Bruno's discussion with him. He's like, yeah, Bruno doesn't want Cindy to go up. It's so obvious that him and Kevin are working together with Cindy. And he also shares, not only does Bruno not want Cindy to go up, he was pushing hard for Ika to go. So Demetres is like, damn. But he promises that he and Ika are not targeting Dylan. They won't come after him. And he's like, those other guys don't give a crap about you. And Dylan says, oh no. So Demetres says, like, if you do put up Cindy, we will vote her out. We're all good. Alright, so then Bruno gets another chance with Dylan, out by the hot tub this time. I'm not going to bore you with all the same arguments that he keeps hammering in there. But he did pepper in a little bit of new stuff. He's like, I don't want you to forget, we fought for you to stay last week. The other side was fighting for Emily to stay. So, like, you really need to look at the big picture here and see who's working for you and who's just friends with you now that you want HOH. So Dylan's like, yep, I'm taking it all in. No, he wants Cindy out. So then Ika and Dylan were chatting in the HOH room last night, and she swears on her children's lives that she will not put up Dylan if she wins HOH. She's like, you know how important that is, how big that is, because you love your niece so much. So she's like, let me stay, let me prove my loyalty to you by winning HOH and not putting you up. And he's like, yeah, I feel like I can trust you. So then Ika's saying, we have the votes to get rid of Cindy. Just put her up and we'll do it. So Dylan's like, yeah, sounds good. Bruno won't leave me alone. It's really annoying. And he says that he's going to go with his gut this week, and he's likely going to put up Cindy. All right. So can you imagine Netta's face when Cindy walks into the jury house? Oh, shit. All right. So this morning, Jackie was making some French toast. She brought it up to Dylan for breakfast. Girl, we see what you're doing. So then the only other really interesting thing that's happened so far today, Karen and Bruno had a really long chat, which was hilarious. Oh my god, I love watching these two talk game. So he's just pushing that Ica needs to go. Karen is pushing that Jackie and Kevin Martin suck. You know, it's the same old, but it's so funny to hear Karen talk crap about Kevin to Kevin's #1 ally. It's just crazy. But, yeah, that's it so far for today. Do they realize it's Easter? Is anyone going to tell them it's Easter? I feel like Big Brother's probably going to have something for them to celebrate, right? So, well, you know, hopefully we'll have more on that tomorrow. Power Veto ceremony should be tomorrow. At this point, like I said, it's looking like Cindy's going to be going up in Dimitri's place. Crazy. So, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Have a great Easter, and until tomorrow, much love.